Yeah. Yoshi! Babs!
Hey now, buddy.
Hey, go put your pants on.
I don't need pants.
Alright, folks, it's time for our movie review. Sorry about that interruption. That was my sister showing me a shirt that is it red. How about it be this word? This is gonna be one of the greatest films I've ever seen from the 30s. This is a crime and thriller and a mystery film. I first watched this. I watched a DVD of this from the Criterion Collection. This is M. Which currently sits at 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. So in this film, Hans Burkett, who's played by Peter Lorre, is a serial killer and also a child killer because he preys on children and he becomes the focus of a police manhunt in Berlin. And his heinous crimes are so repellent and destructive to city life in Berlin, so he becomes targeted by a lot of people, many other people in the underworld network. Cops and criminals are in pursuit. The murderer wants since realized that the people are on his trail, and Burkett is trying to do whatever it takes to escape justice in a panic attempt. This is one of the greatest German films ever made, and yes, this is from Germany. This is a film in Germany. Fritz Lang considered this movie to be a favorite movie of all of his films. The movie is like the warm wonders about neglecting children. I mean, killing children is every parent's worst nightmare. I mean, it's so sad. It's very horrific, disturbing. Killers go to extreme lengths to kill children. That is just sick. Why would you? Yeah, it's one of the greatest films of all time. It's pretty enjoyable. Emma's pretty enjoyable. Fritz Lang was in his 30s when this film came out. He was an Austrian director. He was in California. He was in America after this film was made. He has citizenship in Austria and Germany. And then America. He had he was married 3 times, but this isn't about him. I also want to mention, before I get back to yeah, this is like a pretty film. Before I give my thoughts on this film, there was something that this film. There was something I wanted to mention. So yeah, many critics and reviewers made mentioned that they think that this film was based on Peter Kilton. See this guy? Yeah, him. Who was a German serial killer, committed murders, essays throughout the 1929. And before he was executed by guillotine, there was a Peter Kilton would say, "Tell me." He asked the question. There was this question he would ask, and he was quote saying, "Tell me, quote, tell me, after my head is chopped off, will I be able to still be able to hear, at least for a moment, the sound of my own blood gushing from the stump of my neck? That will be the pleasure to end all pleasures. End quote. The director denies that he drew this film. He drew inspiration from Kilton. But overall, I mean, anyways, back to reviewing the film. Yeah, this film was pretty good. I mean, one of the greatest films of all time. One of the greatest European films that Germany has ever made. Yeah, give props to Germany for making this film. This is the greatest film ever made by. Yeah, this was a pretty good film. The villain was pretty memorable. I mean, a lot of people in the city of Berlin were like banding together to make sure this guy was brought to justice for killing children. You can't be like he thinks that like Becker trying to get away from killing children. I mean, they caught him red-handed, trying to escape justice after to catch this killer who preys on children. His crimes were attracting the attention of the popo. the police. I'm trying to refer. Well, what could possibly go wrong with that guy catching the attention of so much police? I mean, they were right on his trail. They were trying to catch that guy. Yeah, he was responsible for killing children. Ding Beckett. Lane did. And I also want to mention that Lane did not show any acts of violence or deaths of children on screen. So we didn't get to see their deaths on camera, on screen. So I believe Lang would try to do the acts off camera. So did not want to show any acts of violence or deaths of children on screen. So he might say he only suggesting violence. He forced each individual member of the audience to create gruesome details of the murder according to their creation. It took 6 weeks to shot film. Oh yeah, this film actually he used real criminals as extras for this film. He eventually had 25 cast members who were arrested during the film shooting. Theodore was cast into the lead role of Hans Breguet. This was a pretty good, he was pretty memorable. We had Inspector Carl Hall. He was in great demand due to the success of the film. Gustav Stephen Kling for his role for this film. Yeah, the people in this film did great. I mean, they try to do a good job of bringing this criminal to justice. It really, yeah, it's pretty satisfying to give people punishments for their crimes. I mean, after all, they try to go after this guy, bring him to justice. What kind of punishment would he get? Did he get what was his punishment? I wonder what his punishment was. Did they recommend he be serving life in prison, or he was wanted for 3 counts of manslaughter? So he gets arrested, and so do the criminals. So Begut's trial, the mothers of 3 of his victims, weeping Gary. I think that it would have been. I don't. Well. Please ignore the voice in the background. That's not coming from this room. I don't know if they want to execute the guy for some reason, but yeah, this film was pretty entertaining. Pretty good. It's not a comedy, but it's pretty intense. Like, how long did it take to catch this guy? And the police arrest him and other criminals. The police and criminals are on his tail. But this guy is to get arrested by the Popo. And so this guy, this film's pretty memorable. So will the cast members. It basically... pretty nice film. I enjoyed it. Sorry for not giving actual... be reasonable with this thing. Hulk angry! Yeah, it's Hulk with nothing to do with this. We also have Spider-Man and War Machine. Yeah, there's a lot of toys in here. Well, this isn't anything to do. We're not looking at toys right now because we're focusing on M. The director of this film considered this movie to be his favorite among the films he has worked on, and also denies drawing inspiration from Peter Kilton. It was executed by Kilton. I wonder if Germany continues to execute people to this day. I don't know why, but they don't want to execute people? Anyways, that'll be it for this movie review. And before I end this, I'm going to give this a 5 out of 5. I recommend this filler. And hopefully you guys check this movie out. It's pretty entertaining and I recommend it, guaranteed. Thanks for watching this movie video. I'll see you for another one.